let's get back to what Kenyans are really going after.
Yeah.
So it's not much on the face,
Not much
right?
on the face.
I know a lot of rear end jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of buttocks and maybe breast implants. So what are you seeing Kenyans primarily looking for with regards to cosmetic surgery?
So you're straight up on that one. It's the rear end. That's the main thing.
Okay.
I think there's a term that used to be called the Brazilian butt lift. Now we're calling it the Kenyan one.
Okay.
That's very common, and people are actually doing dangerous things. Like I heard word on the street, people are even injecting Roico. Like people are doing crazy things. Yeah.
Okay, that is insane. Okay, so let's move out of the quackery. Yeah, you have 20 years of UK trade.
There's real quackery.
Don't go to a quack because they can kill you.
You can die.
All right? In as much as you want a Kenyan butt lift, in as much as you want a figure 8, don't go to a quack, number one.
Don't go to a quack. Number 2.
Yes.
Yeah? Sorry. If you go to somebody who is qualified, right?
Yes.
Ask them if they have experience in it. Yeah? I'll tell you that I personally don't have experience in it. I've just come from the UK. It was deemed as a risky procedure for a few years. Yeah,
the Brazilian butt lift was deemed risky.
Yeah, and a lot of doctors were not even getting insured to do it.
Okay, so why is it so risky?
It's risky because there's risk of infection, first of all. With the Brazilian, you take fat from your abdomen or from your flanks. Flanks are the sides on your back. So areas where you don't want the fat, you take them and then you put them where you put the fat where you want it.
Okay. So if you don't have any fat, like if you're very skinny, then you're told to gain weight first so that they can get the.
We'd never tell someone to.
No, I'm curious because we need to educate people on these risks. If you go to a doctor,
anybody, no.
That's how you know a qualified doctor as opposed to a quack.
Yeah.
Because the quack will tell you. Gain some weight so we can get some fat. Yeah. So they take the fat from the abdomen or from the flanks?
From the flanks or from the thighs, wherever you don't want it, and then they put it where you want it. It's the advantages, it's good because you can put other things. There are other things, synthetic things that you can inject. You can even put silicone, whatever. The low risk of infection is quite high, but with your own natural fat, it's natural.
Okay, it's lower.
There's no risk of infection. What people don't know, because it's natural, you can't really control it. So you put the fat in, the body resorbs some of it. So you end up looking a little bit uneven and there's nothing you can do. And don't blame the doctor that, you didn't, it's the process. Then you have to go back under, get it done again until you get the desired effect. There's a complication that I think people need to consider. I'm not saying you need to be scared of that complication, but you need to go to a proper doctor. There's a complication where people have died. I think the reported death is 1 in 30,000. That sounds like small numbers, but
you don't want to be that one.
You don't want to be that one. And if you consider how many people do it, especially America, South America, whatever, it's a lot of people. So a lot of people have died.
Okay.
Even UK people have died. And that's why it was banned. People need to know that it is risky. It can cause, the fat can go into your blood vessels, cause blockage, and you get serious breathing problems that can be fatal.
Yes.
So you need to go to someone who has been taught to do it so that you don't get that fatal complication for that specific procedure, and also somebody who's been trained medically to recognize. So let's go to our friend in the clinic where she didn't think people were qualified. So the reason why you have to go to a proper hospital to get things done, that surgeon walks away, they're not going to be with you 24/7. Those people looking at you, they need to recognize this one, there's something is not up. They need to pick it up quickly. People have died in this
backyard clinics
because they don't have qualified professionals. So you can have the most qualified surgeon, but if the people around him are not qualified enough, you're still in danger.
Dr. Ari, I'm hearing that there's an entire ecosystem that needs to be in place in order for safe cosmetic surgeries to take place. And we've already talked about, the Kenyan butt lift. What about what we're hearing about the mummy tuck?
So the mummy tuck, as I said, right now, I'm not going to be like, don't do any plastic surgery, but I'll give you the benefits, as you said, and the risks, and then you make a balanced decision.
Okay.
So benefits, mummy tuck, as I said, some people, you get a baby, we all grow a little bit, gain weight, lose weight, things become a little bit flabby. And I think that's the ideal candidate. But if you're still big, it won't work. It's too risky. I wouldn't take someone under who is big, because the anesthetic risk enough is bad enough. Right?
Is it true that at a certain point, irrespective of your nutrition, because I hate the word diet, irrespective of your nutrition or exercise, there are just certain areas that cannot be targeted, and that if you do want to rid yourself of them, the only option is plastic surgery?
As I'd alluded to, so there's that issue of once we've had babies, we have two muscles at the abs. Everyone knows the abs. So they separate to accommodate for the baby, and that separation is what causes us not to get a flat tummy after babies. That's not an issue. You can walk around. It's a different aesthetic, and I embrace that aesthetic, full woman, etc. And I have nothing against that. Some people can get problems because of that separation. You can have weakness, and it can also be linked to incontinence and things like that. So, and I also told you the problem with the excess skin. Sometimes you can have infections. So there is there are sort of functional benefits from having a tummy tuck.
So having a tummy tuck as opposed to liposuction, two very different procedures. What are the risks of a tummy tuck and the recovery period?
So the risks of a tummy tuck are there's big risk of infection, especially the more heavier you are, the more the risk. The wound often breaks down, doesn't heal well. You end up having lots of drainage in terms of lots of excess fluid, which is called seroma. So those are some of the risks, which are, they're not extreme, but the main risk is if you go to someone who's not qualified, they may not respect your anatomy, maybe take out too much, leave you. I've seen people who've gone to get it done by questionable people, and you end up with really bad wounds. A wound that's taking 6 months to cure and heal. Exactly. You don't.
And then you can never wear that bikini that you wanted to wear in the first place. You're now back to a single unitard.
You can't. You basically are left disfigured for life.
Wow.
So that's a risk.
Okay.
So that's a risk you should bear in mind when going for that.
Are Kenyans getting breast implants?
I'd say yes, they are. 100% they are. But I think because of our body habitats, again, we are not like the Caucasian woman who I think vast majority of them, will do it. I think here we are well endowed, most of us. The other thing I'd say is breast reduction is more popular here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
I had a friend who considered a breast reduction for many years, and then she just lost weight and her breasts reduced naturally. So do you ever see that as an issue, or that people are just heavy and need to just generally lose weight? I know it's hard to target. And do you ever advise them to just try and then to lose overall weight?
Any well-trained and qualified doctor should tell you that's the first thing, because even for surgery to be successful when you're overweight, there's clear studies that have shown when you're overweight, your recovery, you have more risks. All the risks I've mentioned, you heighten them with a higher BMI. So that's the first thing. You tell somebody to lose weight. Sometimes it might take a year, it might take 2 years to get to a target weight, a safe weight, and then you get on with the. So to answer you that it's yes, it should be all the time. If your BMI is more than 28, think about losing weight. If it's more than 35, you have to. It's too dangerous to take somebody under.
I am with Dr. Esther Gathura. We're talking about cosmetic surgery in Kenya. 20 years post-high school medical training in the UK. What's that certification you have from the UK? You're part of the Royal
College of Surgeons.
You see, she is. She really is. She's a fellow. Thank you to everyone who joined us on KTN News. We're going to be taking a break from you. You can continue with us live on the homepage, standardmedia.co.ke. My name is Olivia Otieno. This is 00 Direct.